Hi quilters, it's Stacy with Sew Steady, and we are so excited to be hosting our first week of our holiday gift guide. And that includes 6 weeks of deals and giveaways. This week we're kicking it off in our big way with one of our most loved Sew Steady accessories, which is our 2-arm suspension system. It comes in a cute little box like this, but you're getting 2 big arms like you see right here to be able to add to help you and give you support in your sewing room. That's right, that's buy one, get one deal on the 2-arm suspension system, which equates to 4 arms in your sewing room. This is such an awesome tool for being able to do free motion quilting, ruler work, and everything else that you might want, including mending your dog beds or even embroidery. It's awesome for doing quilting with embroidery. This little clamp that you see right here clips onto your extension table, your counters, your tables. It's got 3 inches of gripping space with rubber grippers to protect whatever you're gripping to. Then you clamp it really easily to your extension table and etc. to be able to secure that arm. Once you do that, you're able to go ahead and clip your project right onto the arm. I like to keep a loop in mind to be able to keep it extra secure. It helps with the weight a little bit, but this is awesome for doing all of the things that I mentioned, including even binding your projects if you're a quilter. So how does it work? Earn bonus giveaways when you sign up, and every time you sign up you're able to go ahead and enter for each of the week's drawings. Make sure to like, comment, and share for bonus entries, and if you choose to purchase the deal, you get one more bonus entry. Whether you're purchasing from one of our dealers or one of our popular resellers online, take advantage of that opportunity. Every week we're going to ask you to tune in for our next week's deals, and you're going to find out who won the deal of the week last week. So please join us as we celebrate our 6 weeks of holiday deals and our gift guide, and make sure to tune in for your next week's. Hi everyone, it's Stacy with Sew Steady, and I am here with Ann Moore, and we are doing a stitch in time with Ann. So, Ann, I want to go ahead and have you take it away here. But we're super excited to be, gosh, we're already in the holiday season. I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're kicking off our 6 weeks of deals. This week we're doing that suspension system offer. So we want to make sure everybody is aware. Buy one, get one is huge. And you know, as well as I do, how awesome those are in your sewing room. So you can also win one. So I did post a link to both the deals and the opportunity to sign up to win. We're going to be giving away one on Monday. So stay tuned for that. But today you've got a really awesome show in store for everyone. You're going to be taking them through some of the box designs, which is for our Shadow Dizzy geese. Is that right?
That is right.
I love it. All
Mhm.
right, well, take it away, and I'll stop talking.
Okay. Oh, so behind me, I was talking to Stacy earlier in the week, and I said, I've already been through the box and shown everybody everything that's in the box. I said, what if I take the embroidery stick and I embroidery all the designs out and show you those? So that's what I have behind me. Now I will take these over to the table because I'm going to get the booklet out and actually kind of go through each one. I went ahead and embroidered them in the 4-inch size just so that I could get more of them on a fat quarter sandwich. But I can just see all of these. They're gorgeous, and they were so easy to do. They just take a few minutes because I thought, oh, well, while it's embroidering, I'll be over here working on this other project. Well, no, not really. And I have mine just set on medium speed, and you could even go faster. But about the time I would get it all set up, it would be letting me know that it was done. So it runs pretty quick. And I recently bought the magnetic hoops for my machine. Guys, those are awesome. If you have not looked into those yet, you might want to. They're so much easier to me than the old-fashioned clamp system, and they don't leave marks in your fabric and things like that. So kind of take a look at those next time you're in your quilt store where you buy your machines and your accessories. So I'm going to take you around to my sewing machine, but along the way, I'm going to show you one of the things I did with one of my pieces of extension system. I thought it was pretty unique. I don't know about y'all. I'll get over to it and then I'll tell you about it. So hang on while I step around, and let's pull this loose and take you over here. Here's my ironing station. My ironing cord is very long and it was always dragging on the floor. When it's dragging on the floor, guess what it does? It picks up whatever happens to be on the floor, and then it passes that along to your quilt. So I put one up in the corner of my ironing station, and I had left it with a loop, and that's what my ironing cord goes through, so that I don't have that dragging on the floor and then across my quilt. So I'm going to grab these real quick and take them over to my sewing machine station. And I'll try not to show you all of the mess that's in here. I taught a class yesterday and I came in and dropped, and I was tired last night, so I didn't pick up after myself. I'll do that this afternoon. So let's get this loaded and we'll talk about these designs. I think they're so cool. They're so cool. And like I said, I did mine first in the 4-inch. And I've done them, of course, in other sizes too. But we're just going to go through real quick. I'm going to tell you what they're all about. This is how it comes. It comes in a bag. Here is your embroidery stick. And as you can see, look at all of the different embroidery, what do they call, Stacy? It's the all the different machines that you can do this with, like,
Oh, the USB stick?
yeah.
Yeah. And then we have every single file type available, all the way
Yes.
down to long arm.
That's what I was asking. I was
Yeah.
trying to remember file for whatever machine you happen to have. We've got a match for it. And I think that's just way cool. So here at the top, I just did a row of one of the designs. And I'm not going to even try to tell you which one it is because, it'd take me a couple of minutes to find it. But in this book, there are 24 pages showing how these designs work out. And also these designs come in 3 3/4 inches all the way up to 11 3/4 inches. So I think you can accommodate probably pretty much any block out there. I know that I can. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of a close up of some of these designs. Here's that one I told you about where I just put 4 in a row. I can see that on a border and I think it would just be fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Here's my next row. Let's see if I can move this over a little bit. There is part of a design, and sometimes you might have like a corner or a cornerstone. I am famous for making cornerstones because I don't like to do the math. And that would be awesome in a cornerstone. I can see this also with our cut work where we do the reverse applique. I can see it used that way. Here's a couple more of the designs, and you think, oh, well, that's the same one as up here. No, actually, it's not. It's a little bit different, and the whole design just stitches out a little bit differently. Here it is again, and this time it's different again. It has 3 lines of this coming out, and I think it's gorgeous. I put this on one of my quilts, and I think I quilted it out for you maybe last month to show you how that was done, and I just think it's fabulous. Who doesn't like circles? I know I do, and I use them a lot, but I could just see this with going ahead and doing a little ruler work inside it or even out beside it. I've got a series of placemats going on for my family, and I know one of them is going to get at least this set right here because I think that's so cute. And I may even do like 4 or 6 of them in the middle of that placemat. We'll see. Like I said, I don't like to do math, so we're going to have to check that one out. Here are 3 more of the designs. This looks like a science experiment or something like that, or atom, I don't know, whatever. I'd have to ask my daughter-in-law on that one. She's the science teacher, not me. Here are 3 more. Here are little bitty circles. Those are a little more than 1/4 of an inch. Those are really tiny, and I could do those with a ruler, but wow, it would be so much faster getting to do them with embroidery. So much fun. And here we are again. And then here is a corner piece with using the circles. And then let's get over to this one because they are a lot of fun too. Here it is. You could do this in a border. Feathers. Feathers are always gorgeous, guys. Here's another, like a half design. That would be beautiful on a border. And then here's that design again. And I thought, well, I'm putting the same one back in. Actually, no, I'm not. This one is a little bit different. And so you just kind of have to pick and choose which one of those you think is your favorite one. You get ready to put it on a quilt, or put both of them on. Here's feathers again, and then this one would just continue going. I see that one maybe in a border or maybe in like a 4-inch block or something like that. Here it is again. This one does not have the stem in the middle. Oh, and this one. This one is so much fun. I can just see that on, I have some patchwork that I want to put together using bigger blocks and just make it maybe into a bed quilt. This would be fabulous. So would this. And like I said, I can go all the way up to 11 3/4 inches with that. So why not? Here's some more. This would be great in a border. Here is a half of one of the designs again. Remember the one I showed you a couple of minutes ago? Well, here it is just in a basic. Here's that other design I showed you a few minutes ago, and then they've added a little bit of checkerboard to it, which I think is really, really cute. Here we go with some more. I just think they're fabulous. I'm probably going to make like a placemat or go ahead and bind this and use it as a sample whenever I'm teaching classes and things because they turned out so pretty. And I remembered to put a back on them this time. So they turned out really, really nice. So there are those. And like I said, you get a 24-page book that shows you some ideas of how that's going to quilt out. And they show it like here it is. It's multiple times, and you can see what it would look like if you wanted to put it across on an entire quilt. I love that. What a fun thing. What a fun idea. These books are they're wonderful inspirations, and I think they're a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing. I'll move those out of the way. Here is one of the placemats. Let me raise it up and I'll turn it a little bit sideways. This is from that collection. You'll probably recognize the design here in the middle. And then this is number 4 that I have made. Let's see if I can raise it higher. And this is from Shadow Dizzy Geese, which is the one that's in this collection for this quarter. And then, of course, I finished it out with my, I guess you could say, world famous stippling. It seems like I stipple everything, but to me, stippling has its place. To me, it's great for the background. I could have even stippled it in, say, this cinnamon color, and then it wouldn't be nearly as noticeable. And then here I have my focal point right here in the middle. And so I love that. That one's number 4. Here's another one that I have started, but I have not finished it yet. Let me see if I can turn this around a little bit for you so that you can see it. And it's just one of those really cool embroidery designs again. And it has the 3 tiers going out. Just fun stuff, I'm telling you. Now, we're going to work a little bit today, and I don't know if I'll take up the whole hour, but, I bet between me and Stacy, we probably can. And we're going to work with this little guy today. This is one of the rulers that's in the template box or in your in your quarterly box. Yes, it's in a template box, but yeah, it's in a bag actually. I like that when we give you a set of templates like this, we also give you the instructions on how to use it. And I want you to notice something, and when I bring my templates around, I'll point that out again. But there are 3 little indentions out here on this template. Let's bring this further down. There's 3 little indentions here. Now, I can stitch all the way down. I can stitch this, and then I can stitch all the way down. There are actually numbers here telling me that if I want to stop at, what is it, 7.5 or a 9.5, I want to make that size design. I have a thumbtack hole right here or right here that I can use. This one would be a 7.5 inch design. This one would make it into a 9.5 inch design. It also coincides with these little arrows that you see right here. When I stitch this and stitch over, I can stop on one of these lines right here and then rotate my template, and it's going to make a 7.5 inch design. Or if I have it in the 9.5 inch thumb hole place, it's going to make a 9.5 inch design. So I'm not limited to maybe only just making a smaller single size design. I may have a block on my quilt that's 9.5 inches or 10 inches, and I want to fill that whole space with that design. So I'm able to do that with this template. It's also going to give you detailed instructions of how to stitch it out, as you can see. And then it's going to go over here and it's going to give you a couple of design ideas. In fact, there's 3 of them here. There's 2 templates in the bag. Here's a couple more designs on the back. So in that bag, you get 2 templates. And like I said, if you can look closely, this would tell me if I want to do a 16 point, and I have a 16 point drawn out here so that we can actually do a 16 point design. It also shows a little arrow if I want to stop at a 12 point design, or if I just want to do an 8 point design. So I have both drawn out here, and we will kind of play with these a little bit. And the same thing, this is spinning ribbon number 1, and then this one is spinning ribbon number 2, and it does the same thing. It has, if I want to do 16 rotations, if I want to do 12 rotations, or if I want to do 8 rotations. They are here marked on these templates. Now our templates are made in Eugene, Oregon, which I really like because I know they're made at a USA company. They are cut with a laser. They are precisely marked. All of these little markings that you see on the back, those are going to be in those templates from now on. I don't care if I'm using it 10 years from now or 20 years from now. Those markings will still be there. They're not going to rub off because they are engraved into the template. And to me, that's very, very important. I know a lot of people take their templates out of their bags and they store them. I don't. I store mine in my bag with the instruction sheet with it. And I have bins that I put, I have 6 bins. So bin number 1 will have a certain group of templates in it. Same thing with bin number 2. And I also have an index. I have a notebook with an index in it that shows me if I'm looking for a specific template, I can look on the page that says bin number 1, and all of the templates that are in that bin are going to be listed there. Same thing with bin 2. So it takes me just a couple of minutes to find it in that index, and then I can go to that bin. So I have found for me, that is the best way to store these. And that way I always have my instruction sheet with me too. And I think that the instruction sheets are very, very important to our work. And also sometimes I'm just, I don't know, fresh out of ideas of things maybe I have how I would like to use a particular template. So I can I can pick that template up and I can open it up and there's design ideas for me. And I like that very, very much. So let's get started. Like I said, I probably will not use the whole time today, but between me and Stacy, I bet we can come up with some stuff. So let's use spinning ribbon number 1 to do our first design, and then we'll use spinning ribbon number 2. Now I have a thumbtack that needs to go in here, and I need to be able to find it, and it's actually going to be on the underneath side. There's a couple of ways to do this. I could actually tape that in place on my front side if I want to, or I can run it through my fabric, and to me it's a little bit more secure. It's whatever your personal preference is. I've used an 8-point crosshair ruler to draw my design out, and it's just the 8.5-inch one. I happen to have both sizes, and I always tell my students, if you can purchase both sizes, please do. If you can only purchase one size, get the bigger one, because you can cover a little bit more area with it, and sometimes that's going to be important to you. And I also use the edge of mine as a cutting ruler whenever I'm squaring up a block. I also use it for a stitching line. I'll go ahead and draw a line all the way around it if I want to make a stitching line around a block so that when I'm cutting it, I have it stitched close to the edge or something like that. I'll do the same thing there. So it's extremely versatile. The only way you cannot use it though is you don't want to stitch into it. That's not going to be possible. It is for drawing purposes only. And it goes all the way from 2 inches to 8.5 inches. So you see these markings right here. I know I can make a 2-inch square all the way up to a 7-inch square using this particular ruler. So that's where that is. And let's see, let's get started. I gotta find my glasses. I had them on, took them off. What did I do? There they are. Hate it when you get to a certain age and you need the extra set of glasses. All right, so this has just batting on the back of it, not actually fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thumbtack and I'm going to run it where that crosshair is. I've drawn this out with a Choco liner, and my Choco liner happens to have been refilled with a pounce powder that you can iron away. So if that's something that interests you, check your local store. They probably have iron off pounce powder, and you can replace your Choco liner with that, or wait till it runs out. That's what I do a lot of times. So here I am. I've got the crosshair in the middle, and I am going to run my thumbtack through there. And that has me, that's my center. All right, I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to flip this over, and I should be able to find that spot again. Might be a little hard on this one. We'll see what I've got. Yeah, I didn't get close. Hang on. Typically in your fabric, you'll be able to see that and get right on top of it. But like I said, I don't have a fabric on the back. I have batting, so it's going to be a little more difficult. Oh, there we go. Let's get that. Sorry, hate to have y'all see me struggling with something. There we go. That's pretty good. I like that. Okay. Okay. And if you're worried about that popping out or something in the back, number one, it stays in there pretty tight. But if it doesn't, cut you a little bitty piece of tape and just put it on it, and you should be fine. Now I'm going to back this off a minute and kind of show you my setup. I know I talk about it a lot to my students, but I actually have a wish table. Let's see if I can get this over here. Set up on top of my koala cabinet. Can you see that? I decided this last time when I got this machine that I really would rather just have this great big acrylic working surface rather than the insert. But now that was just my personal preference. So I kind of wanted to show you that. It's actually sitting on top of its little, the little pegs that you would put the legs onto. It's actually just sitting on that. So let's get over here. There we go. And bring this over. Oh, I lost my thumbtack. Let's do that again. And see, a piece of tape would have probably been a good idea for what I'm doing. Ah, let's see. Stacy, do you have something you want to tell them while I'm repositioning my thumbtack?
Oh, sure. I always have something to talk about.
Oh, good.
Honestly, sometimes it feels like I have too much to talk about. So
No,
let's
you
go
go right
ahead.
ahead.
Are you ready for me to keep talking, or are you
Yeah,
ready to
keep
start
talking
sewing?
for a
Okay,
second.
I'll keep
Now
talking.
I'll see.
Well, let me go ahead and show everybody a few things that I want you to be aware of because we've got all kinds of stuff going on this quarter. First and foremost, I told you about the 6 weeks of holiday deals. You can find all of this information on our So Study blog. So if you're ever curious, like, what's going on? Maybe I can enter to win something. That's where you want to head. It's our So Study blog. Just go to sostudy.com and click that blog page. And then the next thing that I want you to be aware of is that we do have our 2026 calendar contest in full effect. And we are going to go ahead and accept entries through December 1st. And then the gallery is going to open for voting. So this is where you take your best, your funnest projects that you did this quarter or this whole year, and you enter into our Westerly by Me calendar contest. Every single person that makes the calendar will get a free calendar sent to them. So you get your calendar for the year. In addition to that, you're also going to have the opportunity for some bonus credits from So Study for being part of our 2026 calendar. And you know what? It's just kind of fun to show off what you made. We spend so much time creating. It's really, really fun to see what everyone does and to have it, highlighted throughout our community. So, and one of the things that I love so much about our calendar contest is so much of these creations are inspired by people, by educators like you. So we already have several projects that have been submitted, and we asked them to tell us, was this inspired by? And so we've got inspirations by Anne, we have inspirations by Kate, Donnell, Helen Sullivan, Janet Collins. So many of our Westerly Design accredited teachers have created such amazing projects, and it's so fun to see people go and make with them. So I've really appreciated that. In addition to that, we have our fall partner giveaways, guys. Now, this is something that we kicked off. Anybody that is an Elevate Club member, the enter to win on this is in your club guide, but you can also head over to our blog page. And this is something that anyone can enter into. But we are giving away a Janome sewing machine this quarter. We're giving away a AccuQuilt Go cutter. We're giving away 3 different bags. We've got 2 different kits by Wonderfill, this felt bags that you can decorate up with sewing. We had Kathy Clausen make an incredible project with that this quarter. So fall partner giveaways, enter to win, because those are going to be some amazing prizes that we're giving away during our launch of our next new products on December 18th. So we've just got so much going on. It's really fun to be able to share all of this with our community and have everybody be part of it. So head over to our blog and definitely participate in some of these fun giveaways and challenges and so on. So Anne, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, see what I did? I have some embroidery tape and I just politely put that over the back because apparently my fabric is not a heavy weave. And so it wanted to just drop the thumbtack. Well, I fixed that. So here we go. And here I am right back in the center where it needs to be. Now, I get a choice. I can start this right here, which I would, if I did that, I would not put the thumbtack in, of course. But let's make this into a 7.5-inch design, and that way I can have my thumbtack in here. I'm going to do 8 rotations, so I'm going to actually stop. See where it says 8 point? I want to stop right in there. So, and then 8 point, I can come down here too. And I'm playing it a little bit by ear today. So, we may see some kind of funny looking stuff going on, but that's okay. I can experiment in front of y'all. I've taught y'all long enough that you know that a lot of times I do things kind of on the fly. So, here we go. So I've got this over. I'm doing an 8 point. That's what all my points are. You know I like gloves, so I'm going to put gloves on. It helps me with my fabric whenever, and here's how I got started in these. I had a class years ago with Cindy Needham, and I was doing free motion quilting, and I was gripping my fabric like this, trying to hang on to it and get it to move where I wanted it to. That was back before I knew about these guys right here, and I was struggling. And she said, "Here, borrow my gloves and see what you think." And I did, and I have been a glove person ever since. Now, not everybody uses them, not everybody likes them. That's fine. It's just a personal preference of mine. So I'm going to bring this around to me because I think it'll be a little easier for you to see if I have it kind of going on in front of me. And Stacy, does it have enough light on it? I had turned the light on the machine off.
Yeah, I think we can see pretty well.
I think so too. And
Yeah.
me, that's a little bit easier for you guys. I'm going to needle up and needle down. You can do it the old fashioned way, which is what I just did, where I rotated my flywheel, or you can let your machine do the needle up and needle down, whichever is your personal choice. Kind of make sure that I don't land on the edge when I put my ruler foot back down. I'm using this machine happens to have its own ruler foot, but if you don't, Sew Steady can fit pretty much, I think, any machine out there as far as a domestic machine. All of my work is done on a domestic machine, and as far as I know, we have ruler feet that fit everything. In fact, we were out for a little while of the Singer slant needle ones. They are back in stock. I have a couple of them. So, those are available if you want them. So let's get started. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 tiny stitches, and then I'm going to stitch. I have my machine set on a medium speed because I don't want this is not a race. I don't want it to go too fast or I end up just making a mess. I'm going to stitch all the way back to where I started, and then remember I said I want to go all the way down to the where it says 8 point. So I'm going to cut this thread and get it out of my way. I'm going to come back into this so many times that I don't think I really need to bury it. And if I do, well, too bad, I've already cut it. Now I'm going to stitch all the way down. And I'm going to stop right there on 8. And then I'm going to rotate my template. I say I am. Maybe I didn't do that right. Let's go back to that line and stop right there maybe. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was doing something not right. All right, so start back in here. Stitch this out. I always stop at the point and just add another stitch in there. It gives me a good, crisp, sharp point. Okay, and then I want to stitch down. Let's look at this. Where are my 8 points? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to stitch down, and I'm going to stop right there where it says 8 point. And then I'm going to rotate my template, and that lines it up perfectly. Stitch all the way back, and then I'm going to stitch down to the 8 point again and stop. Rotate, line back up, lines up perfectly. Here we go. This is a polyester thread. This one happens to be Wonderfill. Very good company, very, very good thread. And this one is a gold color, and I can't tell you the thread number. I would have to pick up the spool to be able to do that. My thread, that's my thread. My fabric is Kona, and it's called Ocean. It's kind of, I finally got tired of purple, and so I've been using this ocean blue. My husband's thrilled. He was sick of purple. I'm using this is a needle that I kind of prefer. It's a metallic needle. Years ago, I was having trouble with a really fine weight thread. And I said something at my local fabric store about it. And she handed me a pack of metallic needles and said, try these and see what you think. And I did. And I didn't have any more fabric or any more thread shredding. But also a good top stitch needle is really, really good. Usually an 80-12 or a 90-14 will take care of the job perfectly for you. I'm trying to think of all the things that you might want to know about. I highly recommend that you have a glider on your machine. I happen to like the grid glider because I can leave it on full time, and I can also do my piecing with that. And that is a big deal to me because I like my good slick surface while I'm stitching. Okay, I have completed that design. I'm going to lift this and get it out of the way. But I think since we have time, I'm going to go ahead and take the other template and do something with it too. Let me see if I can kind of pull this away a little bit and show you. I'll just cut my thread and then we'll start back up again. So let's just needle down, needle up. You always do that to pull up your bobbin thread. And then you have a little bit of a tail there, and you can actually bury those threads if you want to. They make top loading needles and they make side loading needles that are perfect for things like that. So here we are. We have completed that part of the design, and I have a little sew out over there that was kind of a crazy thing, but that's okay. I will probably rip that out later. But let's go ahead and go with the other template that we have. And this is spinning ribbon number 2. Now I can do a couple of things with it. I can come on out here and make this a 9-inch design if I want to, and then come on over and stitch where it says 8 points. I can stitch there. And so, I don't know. Let's give it a try and see how it comes out. What do you think? I'm game if y'all are. So this would be the 9. It's going to make a 9-inch design. Let's bring up our thread. There we go. Nothing like designing in front of y'all, is there? But to me, that makes it fun. All right, and my line is not extended out, but I can tell enough from it that it's pretty good where it is. So I'm going to just keep going with it.
I think everybody really enjoys seeing how your mind works when you're creating these designs. That's half the battle, right?
It is. It's half the fun right there.
Uh-huh.
So many times I think, oh, wouldn't that be fun if I did this? Or, oh, what if I did that?
Yeah.
You know? Okay. And so I'm going to turn it and I'm going to stop where it says 8 points. And I'm going to point that out to you on this template. It is right back here. And you see there's a little bit of an indentation right here. So I'm going to stitch over to that. And I see I can, eventually I'll cut that thread and get it out of my way. Okay, so I did that. Now let's slide this over. There we go. And it's going to actually make another design right here in kind of the center. I'm going to go with it. I think that looks like fun. So here we go. Let's see what we've got. So it's actually going to do about 16 rotations. And I'm good with that. I may come up with something really fun. Let's go over here where it says 8 and stop right there on that line and slide everything over. And do the same thing again. Stitch all the way down and stop, and then go over to that indentation. That's going to put me right there between those two again, which I think is kind of fun. I'm going to kind of line it up a little bit, stretch it a little bit there. Yeah. How many of you are already working on Christmas projects?
That's funny because I was just feeling like I should be, but I haven't totally decided what my Christmas projects are this year. So
Well,
that probably says something about me. I am a little bit last minute.
Stacy, so many times I am too, and that's why we really try to encourage our students. You know, let's do some summer retreats and things like that, and
Yeah.
Christmas projects, because that I hate being last minute making stuff. You know, I don't know how many times because I have 5 grandchildren, and I know I look way too young to have 5 grandchildren, haha, but I do. And the 11th hour getting that next, whenever a new grandchild is born, I'll be the 11th hour getting that
Oh,
stocking thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's like I'm, I'm I'm happy if I have it finished the night before they get here.
Yeah.
If I
Well,
can
we
do that,
have,
then I'm good.
there you go, exactly. You're like, actually, I can't come to the hospital. I still have to finish the quilts.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah. I love
We've got,
that.
we have Anita here. She is actually making a tablecloth for the holidays.
Oh,
There you go,
mhm.
Anita.
Oh, Anita, that's
I
awesome.
love it. Yeah, we've had so much. Actually, I will say I did make a really fun pillow out of one of our practice panels this season. So,
Oh,
and I'm so proud of myself, but I used the buttonhole foot and the buttons in the box to make the pillow,
I
and I
think you
love
mentioned that.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
you mentioned that. Well, how fun.
I know. So I just don't know that I'm gonna make it a Christmas present. I'm not sure how many people want my pillow as a present.
Well, and there's also that, am I really ready to part with it yet?
Yeah, I could see me putting it on my couch for the holidays,
Well,
but
there you go. Yeah.
no, I tend to do the gifts that I feel like people actually will use. So I have a lot of friends that have loved those the bags that you put around your neck that you can heat up with rice.
Oh,
So
yes.
I'll make those and I get repeated requests to keep, make new ones.
Oh, that's nice. Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna fabricate.
Uh,
This is a hoot. Okay, let's just ad lib here and keep right on going.
there you go. You got a little close to the edge.
Yeah, very close. How funny. Okay, so that lesson to my students, measure your fabric and make sure you have enough room to make that particular design.
That's funny you say that because oftentimes I'll spin the template around all the way around the foot and just
Yeah,
make sure that, yeah, that it's going to fit in the space that I have provided.
yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah. See, there's another lesson right there. Measure.
Yep. I always say measure twice, cut once, measure
Yeah,
twice, sew once.
yeah. There you go. This is fun though. I like. I get a kick out of ad libbing in front of my students. I really do. We come up with some really happy things sometimes and some happy mistakes. You just never know. This is coming along. I'm liking this. This is fun. Okay, and scooch that over a little bit. There we go. This morning early, I have a niece that was spent the night here last night, and Aunt Sissy, can you repair the arm on this doll? I said, well, sure I can. So yeah, I was out here early this morning sewing up an arm on a doll.
See, I sewing machines are used for more than quilting.
Yes, they are. Hmm.
I love it.
And she was thrilled because her mommy doesn't sew, and but Aunt Sissy does. So fun stuff. Fun stuff. I can remember as a child, my mom made a dress for one of those little. Back then, they were a little 98-cent doll that you bought at the five and dime, and she made this beautiful red dress for that doll, and it was going into a, I don't know, a Halloween cakewalk or something. And I just fell in love with that doll and that dress. So I did whatever it was that you had to do to win a prize at that booth. And of course I chose that doll. I still have that dress today. I don't still have the doll. I don't have a clue where it landed, but I do still have the dress, and it's with, my doll set. And it was funny, I was going to get my dolls out for my granddaughter to start playing with because I don't really, I don't need them. I don't play with them anymore. And about that time, Aunt Peggy brought up all of the Barbies that had been at the farmhouse for years. And I thought, well, I mean, they had horses and everything. I thought, well, maybe I'll just leave mine stored and we'll just let them play with those. And maybe the next generation can have my Barbies or whatever. That was so funny. I thought, oh, okay, well, we've got all of those Barbies. Let's just go ahead and let them play with those. So mine are still in the top of my closet where I guess they'll stay for a while. My granddaughter is getting almost too big to be playing with dolls. And she has little brothers, so she gets to be kind of a mommy to the little brothers. So there's that. All right, let's pull this away and see what we came out with. I'll lift it up above it so you can kind of see it. Oh, I thought I cut my thread. I guess I didn't. Kind of a neat design. It's different, and now it has 16 petals on it rather than 8. But I kind of like it. And that would fill a pretty good size block, wouldn't it? I like that. Now I have a 16 over here, so we can make, I don't know, what do we want to make with that one? I've got to put the thumbtack in. So Stacy, I'll let you take it away for a moment while I switch this thumbtack.
Okay, here we go. So I was busy telling you about our calendar contest, and then we have those fall partner giveaways that I mentioned. I don't know that I took you through that page though. So in order to enter to win our fall partner giveaways, we're just asking for your name, address, and email address. And then you have the opportunity to go ahead and kind of check out all the giveaways. And oh my goodness, there's so many. We are working with Shannon Fabrics. They've got this brand new quilting cuddle fabric. They're giving away 3 fabric bundles of that, which would be so fun. Clover's giving away many irons. We've got Wet and Gone water soluble stabilizer from Floriani, R&K Designs. We have 2 pillow projects from Bag Designs. They're featuring their Jolly Holly hat pillows. So they're giving those away. So many different things that you can enter to win. So I definitely encourage you to do that. Um, we have an event coming up on December 9th, and that's where we're going to be announcing our calendar contest winners. Called our customer appreciation event. And then we're going to be giving away. So anyone that signs up to win the 6 weeks of holiday deals, you also have the opportunity to win one of our So Steady Wish holiday packages. So if you maybe got a new machine, or maybe you haven't splurged and gotten that big wish table that Anne, are you working on a wish table today?
I am.
Yeah, so
I
she can
am.
show it off to you in a bigger way, but that is got the big blue drawer and all these extra features that come with that table. We're giving that away as our grand prize for anyone that enters into this contest. They're going to have a chance to win that, along with our new Elevate box that's coming out on December 18th. So all kinds of things that we're giving away this holiday season because it is the season of giving, right?
Mhm.
So that's when everyone's going to find out what they won, and including unveiling our new calendar. So put that on your calendar as something that you want to be part of. You can also head over to our YouTube page. That's another place where you can actually just mark yourself reminders. If you sign in, you can set reminders to be able to watch lives coming up, and we've got all of those loaded. So you can set reminders for those. So that's a neat little tip.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
I am. And I decided on the fly that I'm not going to put a thumbtack in it. I'm just going to go back to the center every time and show you how that works out because I did the design a few minutes ago using the thumbtack, using the 7.5 and the 9.5 inch position. So let's see what it looks like just coming back to the center every time. And you mentioned the wish table again. I love, love, love this setup. I have about maybe a 1 inch of clearance actually underneath my table, which doesn't bother me at all. And I do some pretty big quilts. And this is cool because if I decide I want to take this machine to a retreat, this table goes with me. And I really like that. And so that's just, it's just, I use the same table every time. And
That's so perfect. It's
sell,
kind of a hybrid that way.
it is. And I sell a lot of wish tables. You can tell me, but I think they're probably our most popular table. What would you say is our most popular one?
Yeah, I think the Wish is definitely, and then the large, our basic large is super
Hmm.
popular, just because I think it's got a good price point and it just fits the needs for a lot of people, the
Hmm.
18 by 24. But the Wish is the table everybody wishes they would have got.
Yes. Yes. And we talk about that a lot when I'm at retreats or classes,
Hmm.
this is the one you wish you had. And I don't know if they're aware or not, but the So Easy tables that are out there that you set up that have the legs and everything, and it's a freestanding sewing machine table. We make the inserts for those too. So I finally went to one of those earlier in the year because, and the reason I did is because it brings me down a little bit lower, and I'm not a real tall person as it is. So just so y'all know that if you want to order the inserts for those So Easy tables, we make those. I've ordered a bunch. I had one lady, she ordered three different machine sizes from me for her So Easy table. So there's something to think about.
I love it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're great. And they're so lightweight and storable. So
Mm-hmm.
it's tucked away in a corner here in my studio, which is usually, packed out like crazy already. But unless I tell you where that So Easy's table is, you don't know it's here because I'm able to kind of store it out of the way. But I have more than one size So Easy insert for that particular table, just so you know. I have a 570 that I travel with. I have a 475 that I travel with, and a 330 that I travel with. So there is that. And they're not a horrific price. So yeah, go do it. Do it. All right. So we are making the spinning ribbon number 2. And I'm going to come back to the center each time, but I'm also going to do 16 rotations. So this one's going to be really, really busy, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun. So let's go for it. There's my 4 tiny stitches. Let's take off and stitch. On this particular machine, someone pointed this out one day in one of the classes I was watching. There is a setting for quilting, and it's a little looks like a little checkerboard kind of design. And if you click on that, then you bring up a lot of different quilting stitches. If I go to, on this machine, 1326, it automatically brings my tension down to 4.0, and on this particular machine the default is 5.25. So there's a pretty good difference right there. But if I put it on that and I just let it go, I get a beautiful stitch. I really do. And I don't have to really do any other adjustments. And on other machines, go into that stitch and look around. You'll find the stitch like what I'm doing. It'll have a different number to it, but that's okay. Just play around with them until you find that one that's the sweet spot. Oh, this is coming along. This one's going to overlap this one slightly. That's okay. Ever so slightly. There again, a little measuring and I wouldn't have had that problem. Stacy, we had a lot of people stop in the booth at Quilt Festival and say hi. It was so good to be out and get to see everybody.
Oh,
And
I love that.
I loved it. Had so much fun. So much fun. Love, love, love the new little featherweight table. Guys, they've come out with,
Oh.
oh.
Well, we've kind of done a soft launch on it because technically we don't have it's not quite ready to start shipping.
Mhm.
So we don't even have it on our website yet, Anne. But yeah, it is coming this holiday season.
Good, good.
I would say just in time for just in time for Black Friday.
Awesome. Awesome. So,
Mhm.
so see, I'm not too early.
No.
We can talk about it and tell them, what's cool about it is that it fits in the that little project, the travel bag we have, the project.
Yes.
It fits in that, guys. That's so easy to
Isn't
travel
that
with.
so great?
And I know when I go to a retreat, the ladies that do, a lot of piecing, that's the machine they're on. They have their little featherweights. They're wonderful. They're like
Yeah.
workhorses, and they don't. They just don't wear out.
It is so true, and it's shocking to me to see how many people are still sewing on those machines, but I
Mm-hmm.
have to be honest, like, I feel like as much as I love the big fancy machines that can do so much,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just nice to go to a machine that, like, never really breaks, you know? It doesn't require a reboot to be able to make it work. It just always works. And I think that that's why, for me, those machines are so exciting and easy
Mm-hmm.
because you just know exactly what you're going to be able to do on it, and it does it every time.
Yeah. And, and most people, they've already taken the course of how to maintain it.
Yeah.
So they maintain it themselves. And that's a big deal because there's nothing worse than getting to a retreat. And I've gotten to where whenever I teach at a retreat, I carry an extra machine because invariably somebody's machine is going to go down. I've had it happen
Yeah.
more than once, and they're going to need to borrow a machine.
Yep.
If I loan them mine, that means I don't have a machine to work on in the evenings when I have some free time. So yeah, I had bought a new machine and was going to sell one of mine, and then I thought, that'd be kind of silly. Hang on to it, and that way you have that spare machine for
Yeah.
if their machine goes down, and you already have the table and everything for it. So yeah, I'm ready if should have a problem, or even if I had a problem, I have
Yeah.
a spare machine. And I get called too from time to time. Hey, so and so's bringing such and such machine. Don't you have a table that will fit that? Could you bring it? Yes, I do. Bring it.
And I know where to get one of those tables.
And usually do end up making a sale. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I had one of my former customers call me recently. I had done a class for her retreat, and she'd ordered a table from me. And she said, I'm out at such and such a retreat, and I need a table for the machine that I just purchased today. And I've got two or three more people that also want machines, tables too. So can we call you and place those orders? I said, yeah, you can. Of course.
Oh, I love it.
So fun. Friends get together and start talking, and there you go. Okay, there it is without using the thumbtack at all. I think that's quite beautiful. And it's heavily quilted, so, it's pretty. Let me see if I can kind of straighten this a little bit and get you right down on top of it. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's what I have to show everybody for today, Stacy. Do you have anything else we need to tell them about?
I feel like we covered it, Anne. So I really appreciate everyone joining today. We talked a little bit about the 6 weeks of holiday deals. We gave you the link for that. We talked about how to join in on our Westerly by Me calendar contest. And then, of course, our fall giveaways with all of our partner offers. So go to our blog. I posted a link to our blog and take advantage of those deals. If you're just recently beginning ruler work too, I highly encourage you to take a look at our blog. It's kind of a beginning ruler work blog page where you can learn more about kind of how to get started. We try to kind of break everything down in our classes to give everybody a little bit of a how to get started tutorial. But I think sometimes, some of those basics, and maybe we sometimes forget to mention, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, putting your machine into free motion mode means
Yes.
dropping your feed dogs, like little things like that can make a big difference. So we do have a blog that we just recently posted called Learn to Quilt with Rulers with the Beginner Essential Kit. And I highly encourage you to go in there and read up on that. We've got links to our free classes that will get you started with ruler work. But these are kind of the basic tools that we recommend everybody start with. So if you're interested in learning more, I highly encourage you to head over to that blog and get started there. But overall, I think you did awesome, Anne. We just love seeing you stitch away and create with those new templates. And we're really excited about the next box that we're going to be releasing on December 18th. So mark that on your calendars. We've got some really fun templates, and just think kind of winter inspired templates that are going to be coming out with that too.
And I'm still working on the quilt that has Bartholomew and Ralph and Penelope and Debbie Dragonfly. But
I love it.
someone has asked if I would put it into a contest, and I am. So you can't see it until January. But
Oh,
it's not
okay.
so long. It's
So
it's a
fun.
happy quilt. It's a lot of fun.
I love that. Well,
Yep.
I know that that was kind of your club quilt
Yes, it
for
is.
2025. So we're excited to have you unveil it for us. Maybe when we do our launch, you can give us a little teaser on it. How does that sound?
And I chose one of the names that the students suggested. So
Okay.
you'll hear about that too, because
Oh, I love
I
it.
love the name. Everybody
Okay.
mentioned it to has said, yes,
Oh, yes.
perfect.
Yeah, we had a little contest to see who could
Yeah,
help us name it.
yeah,
We did end up giving away that Template Fuse too. So that was your
cool,
last class that we had the giveaway for that. But we've
good.
got so many giveaways right now. I just didn't feel like I could do another one.
I
So
did.
take advantage of all of those others.
Yeah,
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Anne. We can't wait for that unveiling. And we'll look forward to having you join us again next month.
sounds great.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And we'll look forward to having you join us next week for more fun education. We do have one more live today, too, though. We've got Pam Barner coming on with her holiday garland class. So if you are looking for another fun holiday project, we've got one live today. We've got a Christmas stocking project coming up. Yeah, we've got so much inspiration. I think that that's why I've been holding off, because I just have to decide which class I want to do. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Bye,
Bye
everybody.
bye.